Mike Tuck, how are you, my friend?
I'm very well. How are you?
I should tell the supporters that are watching this, we're not in Thailand in a bamboo jungle, we're in the Beebrown offices.
No, we are. We are in the jungle right now.
Have you had a good summer, my friend?
I had a great summer, but it's good to be back.
How fit are you?
After this week of training, I'm very fit. We've been going hard this first week. The first week back is always the toughest.
Now, we've just had the sort of season launch at the Beebrown offices where some of the new players have been introduced and some of the plans for the new season, both on and off the court. Let's start with the new players. What can you tell us about some of your new teammates?
Well, we have Patrick Horstman, who's a German kid, but he just finished school in Florida, I think. He's a forward just like me, and he's a really hard-working guy. Kind of reminds me of myself at times. He plays in the post. He can shoot the ball from outside. So he's going to be great for us. He's going to come in and help us out really well in the big man department.
I think you've probably also got a rival in the ladies' man stakes as well, looking at him as well.
He's a looker. Watch out, ladies of Sheffield. He's a looker.
Okay, so that's Patrick. What other players can you tell us about?
We have Jeremy Simmons coming in. He went to Ohio State, which is a really big-time basketball school in America. He's coming in. He's going to be playing shooting guard position, but he's also going to be playing point guard for us. He's quick, really quick guy. He's got a great shot, and he's a slasher. He can get to the rim in a bunch of different ways. So he's going to be a very exciting guy to watch, and he's probably going to be one of our big scorers for the season.
Now we'll catch up with the coach on the other players, not steal his thunder. Yeah. But in terms of your feel for how preparations are going, I know it's very early days, but we were chatting at the exec dinner the other night, and you were saying how excited you were about the prospects for the new season. What fuels that excitement, Mike? What is it about the preparations you've seen so far for this season that's making you feel so optimistic about success this season?
I just think, since I've been here, we haven't really ever started this early before. So I think that's key, right? Getting everyone here early together, going over the plays, going over our game plan, and just the overall mentality that we want the guys to have for the season. Not only that, but everyone's getting their wind back early, so we're going to be in a better shape team than most of the other teams in the league that are only starting now with a week or two after that we've started. So that's exciting, And then off the court, I feel like there's a lot of good energy behind the club this year. A lot of new sponsors signing. Returning sponsors coming back and showing that they have the faith in us that we can do big things. So I just feel like overall there's a really good aura and good energy behind the club this year, and probably since I've been here it's like my favorite and most exciting year.
We'll touch on some of the sponsors and supports in a second, Mike, but in terms of teammates and team spirit, what we saw when we really fight back towards the end of last season, there was just such an amazing togetherness amongst that group of players. Now, of course, we've got new players in. Some of the players that were so terrific for us last season are not with us. New plans have taken shape. I know, again, it's very early days, but how are you feeling about the character and the mix of personalities in the dressing room?
That's another huge thing I've been telling people about, is that, I feel that, everyone we brought in here is not only a good player on the court, but they're good people off the court. And I think that helps a lot in the long run things. All these guys, they're not selfish, they're pass first type of guys. And, I think they'll be good teammates. I think that's very important with a basketball team, is that you gel together well on the court and off the court too. So, that's what I've seen so far, and it's exciting. It's exciting to have a group of guys together who are like this.
Now, what sort of guy are you, Mike, when it comes to setting goals and objectives?
Well, for me this year, we've always set goals every year, and the goal is to win all four championships. And I think this year is like it's a very big possibility that we could do that.
No pressure there, then, mate. No pressure.
I know. I'm setting my sights high, but I have a really good feeling about this year.
Well, Mike, thanks for taking time to talk to us. I know that you're a particular favourite amongst the fans, so we hope to see you for a few more years yet as well, not just this season.
I hope so too.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Well, Coach Lyons, welcome to my Thai shack here in the heart of Sheffield.
Yes.
How are you, mate?
Good. How are you?
What type of summer did you have?
A mixed. It was a little bit relaxing, but a lot of work.
Now, don't tell me you spent all summer looking at players.
I did.
Knowing you as I do, you'd have had some fun as well along the way.
I didn't. No fun. Zero fun. No, it was a great summer. I really focused this year on focusing on networking and creating those relationships that'll get us good younger players and guys that want to go to university and guys so we can start really building that structure up.
And you're looking quite trim actually, my friend. Are you keeping a close eye on the weight now you're not playing?
I have to. I just started running 2 weeks ago. So I ran every day, at least once or twice a day, biked. I'm feeling it, but it feels good.
And running for big guys like us is not easy, is it?
No.
Okay. I obviously want to talk to you about the new players, run through a bit of a background to the new players, and we'll obviously introduce them to the fans as the games start to unfold with video interviews after the game. We've heard some words from Mike Tuck on Patrick, for example. So what's your take on what type of player he is and what he'll bring? What qualities will he bring to the club?
When I recruited Patrick this summer, I told Mike he's similar to Tuck. A similar kind of player. That's my kind of guy, really. I don't really like too much fancy frills. I don't need that. Just get the job done. It may not be the prettiest all the time, but it'll be efficient and effective. And so that's what I want, and that's what he does. He can shoot the ball, sets hard screens, runs the floor, does all the intangibles. Great teammate, just a team guy. If he has 0 points or 100 points, he's happy. Just wants us to win. And that kind of atmosphere is what you need in your locker room and your club.
So that's Patrick. Talk us through some of the other acquisitions.
Jeremy Simmons, he's that scoring piece that we needed with this team. We have guys that are good at what they do, but he's a dynamic scorer. He can score in a few different ways. He's quick. He's a little undersized, but tough with it. So again, similar to some of the guys I've had in the past, we've always played with undersized guards. I just feel like they have a little bit more to prove out there. So I think he's similar to them.
How is his three-point shooting prowess?
I don't think I've seen a stat where he shot under 40%.
It's pretty good then.
Speaks for itself, really.
Okay, so that's Jeremy and Patrick. Next,
Brian.
Making you think now, aren't you, mate?
Brian.
You're thinking about. Prepare yourself for these questions. So Brian what's his surname?
Brian Barber.
Okay.
Brian Barber. Old school point guard. Can really pass the ball. All about getting his teammates involved first before he worries about himself. But has capabilities of scoring big time and averaged 16 points a game in his junior year in college. At a pretty good D1. It's Ivy League, which is a high standard in America, and he was second team all conference. So he knows how to play basketball. He knows how to win, which is more important. He knows how to be a good point guard, a good teammate, and just share the ball.
Patrick, Brian, Jeremy.
New guys?
Yep. Who else?
We've got Daquan Cook coming in.
He's not arrived yet, has he, Atiba?
No. Hopefully in a week he'll be here.
What can you tell us about him?
6'9", athletic, a big 6'9", 6'8", 6'9", muscular, versatile player. He plays inside, plays outside, can do a little bit of everything. Prefers to be a face-up, but he can post up as well. So just we haven't really seen that. We had a little bit in that Demetrius last year, but he's steps out a little bit further and handles the ball a little bit more and has more size.
And I think that's it for the new players, isn't it? And then we've got all the returning stars from last season. Nick Lewis, you talked about him in the press conference just now.
Yeah.
Great expectations of him as a player because he's still a young lad, isn't he?
Nick has all the tools. He can dribble, he can score, he can create, he can pass. But right now it's his immaturity, mentally, game time speed that we need to work on. And he knows this. I tell him this all the time. And some of the decision making, and those are the small plays that make a huge difference in a player. So when he starts getting the reads right and just takes his time a little bit more, it'll be exceptional.
What we love about him, Atiba, is the fact that his iPhone is tied to his hand. Wherever you see Nick Lewis, you see the iPhone.
Well, if you follow Nick around long enough, he'll lose something, and you'll pick up a free iPhone or headphones or something. Shoes.
He's a good guy to follow around there, mate.
You'll pick up some stuff, something for free.
Now, Mike, your captain, was very optimistic. He actually set the standards really high. He wants to see you win everything.
Yeah.
It's a very ambitious and optimistic viewpoint, which is good and exciting to hear. Where do you come at it from, Atiba? What are your expectations for this season?
My aspirations are a top 4 finish and be fighting for silverware. But I know that Tuck is almost an extension of how I think, and he's, I don't ever go into season think I'm gonna lose a game, and that's how I practice and train. I want the guys to feel the same way. So if he said that, that means he's on my wavelength. But as far as between me and you, top 4 finish and playing for silverware is what we're shooting for this year.
Just to thank some of the sponsors and supporters, obviously B. Braun do a sterling job. We're in their facility again tonight. A few words from you about what you feel about their support and how important it is.
B. Braun is amazing. A lot of coaches in the league and throughout Europe, I know you have a tough season, you'll get looked at, you're kind of funny, and they may want to replace you. But from day one, I've never really felt that. Braun's always been supportive, and never had a bad word to say. And they just want to see us do well on and off the court, and that's not. It's a unique position. Most clubs either care about off the court or they care about on the court, but they care about both just the same equally. And I know that when we win, I feel pride for them as well, because they've attached a name to us, and it's always good that you can repay them with victories and championships. So and the venue that they work out of is just world class.
It is. Now we can't miss One Health Act, because it's dead useful, isn't it, having a surgical company that can work on players' knees, joints, ankles and so on in the mix. They do a superb job as well, don't they?
Yeah, I've been rebuilt a couple times now, and I feel great despite it, but it's just the way they treat you when you get anything done. It's I don't think about getting an apartment in one of the places up there. They treat me so good. So they're an excellent surgical group. Every body part they've got a specialist for, and we've had fingers done here, and guys are back in the shortest amount of time possible. We have ankles, knees, and everything they do is done exceptional, personable, and they're supportive. They come to the games, bring their families, kids, and it's great.
Now finally, Forever Living, they've renewed their support of the club by providing the players with health and nutrition products throughout the season.
Thanks to Forever, me going down a little bit.
Yeah, you mentioned that in the press conference. You've been popping all the various nutritional pills they've been providing.
Aloe, bee pollen. I took the 9-day
Clean 9.
Clean 9, yeah, Clean 9. Yeah, it's a process, to get your mind ready for all this overhaul.
Yeah.
But this summer was good for me. I got to clean my body out, and my energy levels up, and my motivation's up. So.
Well, I'm looking forward to speaking to you again as we did last season after some of the games, and hopefully we'll be celebrating more victories than losses.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Thanks for sharing your time with us tonight, Atiba. Appreciate it. Now, here we are with the most important person at the One Health Sheffield Sharks, the Managing Director, Sarah Backovic. What sort of summer have you had, Sarah?
Still pretty busy. Very busy summer. Just doing a lot of the preparation that starts to come to fruition now, which doesn't mean it gets easier. It just stays steady.
I think you're fibbing, Sarah. Every time I ring you, Sam, I'm having a bit of a holiday today, David. Is that just pure coincidence when I call you?
You keep ringing me on a Sunday.
Now, we've obviously got one of our new friends alongside you, Mike Hyman, who's the chief executive of a heartwarming charity called Kids and Cancer. We'll talk to you in a second, Mike. But some exciting news that the Sharks have decided to adopt Kids and Cancer as a charity for the forthcoming season. Tell us about the decision process behind that, Sarah.
Well, we do dedicate a lot of our time to work in the community, and obviously we get inundated with requests for charitable support, and it's not really possible for us to help anybody, lots of charities meaningfully. So what we decide to do is select one that we feel is close to our initiatives in the community, and that one that we feel we can support well. And with the association with Karen Child and yourself, we've come to meet Mike and come to learn of the tremendous work that he does for Kids and Cancer, which is very close to my heart personally, and so I'm pretty pleased to support it.
I'm going to turn to you, Mike, if you want to pass Mike the microphone. Mike, first of all, your passion for basketball. You came to a few basketball games last season as a guest of Karen and fell in love with the sport. Tell us about that.
Well, we did fall in love with the sport, because mostly my sport's been football and American football. But Karen invited us along to the Sharks game, and we just really got into it. My grandchildren got into it, and they're bouncing around wanting to find out when the Sharks are going to be playing their home games, and they're even talking about wanting us to go to the away matches. So I can see that being a really Hyman trip out.
I think we need to buy a coach then, Sarah, don't we? So we can do it in style somehow, a supporters coach or something like that. So, Mike, I know that obviously you and I know each other really well, and I know you've been doing some great work in the traditional fundraising ways through campaigns, and one of the things you're working hard on now is finding corporate supporters. Well, congratulations, you've just found a corporate supporter that's actually going to make you their designated charity for the next year. How do you feel about that?
Well, it's fantastic news for us. I mean, it's a local company. It's a local sporting organisation, yes, and I think it has something to put into it. I mean, kids is what we're all about, and I think it can only do both the charity some good and also the Sheffield Sharks, because children are close to everybody's heart. Nobody ever wants to see a child struggling to live.
I know there's all this talk about the new venue, and we can't say too much at this juncture, but we've had private conversations about how we'd potentially like to hold a concert at the new venue, fill it with 3,000 people with some well-known celebrities, because one of the great things about you, Mike, you're well connected to various celebrities that have worked in the music industry. Give us a flavour for some of those people that you actually associate with and who are patrons also of Kids and Cancer.
Well, we've got people like Rick Wakeman. We've got a lot of people in my Masonic Lodge. I mean, I'm connected to a Masonic Lodge that is really all about entertainers, the Chelsea Lodge. We've got Joe Pasquale, we've got Darren Day, we've got
Karen Child.
Yeah,
she's a celebrity in her own right.
She is, and Karen's a great supporter. But
she's becoming a celebrity with her Facebook posts, isn't she?
Oh. Yeah, I'm not sure that's a good situation at the moment. But I think it's a great opportunity for the Sharks to actually do something that's really worthwhile, because I think a 3,000 seater venue, I mean, we're closely connected with the boxing world, and that there's not a venue in the area that will take 3,000, but yet there's lots of boxing opportunities to fill that stadium, both with concerts. 3,000 seater is absolutely an amazing just situation that will benefit boxing. It'll benefit the concert game and the entertainment world, and I think it's a great venue. I think it's a great opportunity for the Sharks, and I'm sure the investors will get a lot out of it.
I'm going to come back to you now, if I may, Sarah, because I've asked your coach and your captain about their expectations for the coming season. Let me tell you, your captain wants to win everything, and he is confident you will. Your coach is more measured in his optimism. He wants to see a top 4 finish and you get some silverware. What does the managing director insist that the team produce this season?
Well, I take advice from those very measured personalities that you've just spoken of. I expect them to do as well as they can do, and that would mean a clean sweep for the season. I would hope that they would do that. What I expect them to do is just put every best effort into achieving that, and I'm sure we'll do really well.
Well, listen, thank you for making time for us tonight, because there's lots of sponsors and friends here for you to go and talk to and mingle to, and we'll catch up with you, Sarah, as the season unfolds. One thing we need to do this is, we spoke to the coach a lot and some of the players, we need to get input from the most important person, the lady steering the ship.
Well,
I know you just love being in front of a camera as well, don't you?
I do. I adore it.
Thanks, and to yourself, Mike. Thank you.
Thank you.